operation. Growth is the development from a simpler to a more complex form, and in this case it's used when they're talking about the automotive industry, which Heinrich saw with his visionary complex, which would grow, and he just built off of that. Secondary sector, we all should know, is business operations of making products out of raw materials, and that's what RDB does. It's a business in the secondary sector. Market size, the number of buyers and sellers in a particular market, that's pretty big in the industrial mechanical device industry, which is what RDB operates in. And the last one is capital, which is wealth as in money or property owned or employed by a business. RDB has quite a bit of that.
While you're getting that together, I just wanted to say real quick, you guys, this vocab, the more of this vocab that you can use on the exam, the better. Especially secondary. What are the two other sectors? Primary and tertiary.
Primary.
Make sure you know the difference between those three terms, and a lot of times they would ask you to give a suggestion of how they could enter the other sectors if they're not already there.
Just one more thing that I didn't put on here in the case study on lines 4 and 5 that I thought sounded a little important was right at the beginning of that sentence where it says ball bearing technology contributed to engineering process throughout the 20th century. I think that's pretty big because that says basically engineering processes wouldn't have gone very far without the advancement and progress of the ball bearing industry. So RDB was really thinking ahead when they got in that industry, and it's really helped them out. And they've contributed themselves to the growth of that sector of the market. Is that going to go away?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. So next we're going to go to the questions. We'll just take them one at a time.
Wow, those are long.
And I'll probably just ask you guys off the top of your head, and you can write them down as well. So the first one is pretty simple. It's identify the primary cause for growth of the ball bearing industry in the 20th century. Parker, want to field that one?
Yeah, it's because of industrialization, and they got more and more needed, different types of vehicles.
Right. Okay, yeah, I was going to ask you to pull out a more specific example from the case study, which was specifically automotive sector, but you touched base on that. So, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It's just increase in mechanics that everybody uses every day as time went by. So does everybody understand that pretty well? That's pretty straightforward. The next question we have is analyze how important the foresight of Heinrich was to Royal Danish Bearing Company and what effect it had on future business. Anybody want to field that one voluntarily? Ben, what are you thinking?
I think his foresight was very important to the development of the business, because without him being one of the first people to set up that kind of business, he would have lost a lot of opportunity for growth as a business.
Right. It was very important to this company that they were one of the first ones to capitalize on the ball bearing industry, and that Heinrich's ideas and vision laid the groundwork for the company, and it just really flourished from there because they were the first ones to really get into this process. And he was really lucky because obviously if he hadn't thought of it, somebody else would have come along and just done it anyways because it's inevitable. Yeah, Ben, that's really good.
I want to add one thing here because I can foresee a question along this line that talks about him being a visionary. It's important. What else is required when it comes to having a visionary?
Yes.
It's great to have this amazing visionary, but what else is necessary?
Capital.
I promise it hasn't been touched.
Where did it come from?
You're right in our video.
Confiscated.
Who's
No,
it?
it's good, seriously.
Who's it from?
I just can't drink coffee this late in the day.
He confiscated it from one of the sketches.
You
Okay, I better stop.